there is a new major player in media. To me, in my opinion, they're officially number one. My opinion, they're number one. I'll tell you why. Warner Brothers Discovery rejected Paramount's SkyDance acquisition for $20 a share as too low. Now, keep this in mind. SkyDance. If you're watching this, you may say, who the hell is SkyDance? SkyDance is a $1 billion revenue company, $90 million EBITDA to roughly $110 million EBITDA. So they got $100 million EBITDA. 2010, they started. They co-produced movies, I believe, like Top Gun, like Star Trek. They did a couple co-producing with these movies. They've done pretty okay for themselves over the years. SkyDance is ran by a guy named David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son. Larry Ellison, 41% owner of Oracle, who's worth $365 billion. And for a minute, he was the richest man in the world. I believe this year alone, his net worth has gone up $130-something billion, give or take, just this year. So then last year...
Driven by Broadcom.
Last year, SkyDance goes out and buys a company called Paramount for roughly $8 billion. And that $8 billion is some very, very, very strong assets that they bought. We're talking... when you look at the list of companies, Rob, who Paramount owns, if you pull up who Paramount owns, most people probably don't even know what companies Paramount owns. Paramount owns, I believe, BET, they own CBS, they own Nickelodeon, MTV, CMT, VH1 when it used to be VH1. But now they come out and they want to buy Time Warner. Time Warner says, no, the numbers are too low, and they rejected the offer of $20 million, $20 a share by David Ellison. Bloomberg reports. WND shares closed at $17.10 share on Friday, up more than 36% since the news broke on September 11th of Ellison's interest in bidding for the rival just weeks after closing SkyDance deal to acquire Paramount, Warner Brothers Discovery, HBO Max. Warner Brothers Entertainment, CNN, TNT, TBS, and more has a market cap of $42 billion. So $1 billion company, SkyDance, buys a $8 billion Paramount, and now wants to buy a $42 billion Time Warner. The Bloomberg story did not indicate whether Paramount bid included the assumption of WBD's total debt, which is roughly $35.6 billion.
Wow.
Paramount SkyDance has been in talks about Apollo Global Management, the asset management firm that had previously bid for Paramount Global. About joining its bid is David's father, Larry Ellison. It's kind of cool when Larry Ellison's your dad, worth $400 billion. Ellison, speaking last week at LA's Bloomberg Screen Time Conference, did not confirm that Paramount SkyDance has bid for WBD, but at this point, a lot of people know. And on top of that, when the U.S. government got involved and they said, hey, TikTok, you're either done, we're shutting you down, or we're owning you. And the president and whoever that was involved, they allowed ByteDance to keep 20% and allowed 80% to be owned by companies in America led by Larry Ellison. Rob, can you tell me who were the 80% owners of buying TikTok? And by the way, they're buying TikTok at a valuation of $14 billion.
I thought it was Oracle through its corporate arm and Silver Lake?
Yeah, Silver Lake's involved in Silver Lake money. Silver Lake seems to be everywhere. That's where the money for our insurance company came from when they bought us. So essentially...
So you like Silver Lake?
We don't mind Silver Lake. Silver Lake has money. I think they're a $100 billion company, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, like meaning assets.
Money green
and good. So here's the question. Here's the question becomes, can you tell me a power player in media now, bigger, $100 billion, $110 billion now. Can you tell me a power player now bigger than the Ellisons? Think about it. And by the way, Larry Ellison is what, 82, 83 years old? I don't know what his age is, but...
Looks great.
Looks great. I was about to say that he looks phenomenal for his age.
Still playing tennis.
Still playing a lot 81. Of things, more than just tennis. But he's... so 81 years old, right? $370 billion net worth. And now you have Disney, which, by the way, you know what Disney's revenue is per year? I think Disney's revenue is 40. Can you look up Disney's revenue per year? It's a $43 billion. I don't know what their revenue is, but it's what's Disney's revenue per year? 92 billion, 94 billion. Then you have, Netflix's revenue is 43 billion. If you type in Netflix revenue, I think Netflix's revenue is 43 billion, if I'm not mistaken. One of these guys is 43 billion. Is that it? Yeah, their 2025 is 43 billion. So now you combine the revenues of all those companies as 92, 93, 94 billion. Is if they pull off all that stuff together. I don't know. That's a pretty nice place to be. How much does that change the media space, Tom? Do you think Ellison's been sitting there trying to buy up all these media assets? Do you think it just happened accidentally? Why do you think they're picking them up? Where do you put them as the biggest power players in media right now?
I think they are just 4 steps ahead of private equity, because the old media from cable and satellite is content libraries that can be repurposed, reused, rewatched in a streaming environment. So the content libraries are valuable, but along the way, you have to trim all these things off called the cable nets, because you're no longer doing that anymore. And those are very, very costly. And so SkyDance is really, you might think of it as the first of the PE people, because Team Ellison has a passion for it. And so they're out there first. And by the way, with them is people like Silver Lake. And you also look at the industry is begging for consolidation. So number one, he is a power player, and I think he's forward on the moves that are going to happen by big private equity. However, big private equity doesn't like all the debt, and they also want to get to achievable EBITDA. And so the old deal maker, who is the old deal maker? Bob Iger. Look at Bob. Look at these libraries he's bought. He bought Star Wars and Marvel and all these things. Isn't that amazing? And so he was the guy. And then David Zaslav. Well, now David Zaslav spends his time alone at the bar at the Allen Conference up at the ski resort, saying that the industry needs more consolidation. Translation, will somebody please buy CNN from me with this pack of channels? And he's not able to do it. So Ellison absolutely is the influential John Malone of his time on this, and he's leading the steps on the industry consolidation. But you'll read, the industry's had so much debt when it was trying to assimilate, that the question is, like what we just saw here, is no word on what happens to the $35.6 billion credit card the cute young girl had when he married her. Who pays for that?
You know what I think is one of the parts of the story that people are completely ignoring? You said earlier, that number one. What do you need to be number one? You need capital, but you need ambition. This dude's hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that the guy who's 42 years old, whose dad is the richest man in the world, he don't want to make a name for himself? He don't want to go and say,
know what I like about him?
This is what I built?
You know what I like about him? No, it's not. By the way, you should never, like your kid's going to have a dad that has money, right? That money's going to go to them. You should never fall for the trap of, well, your daddy's money and all this other stuff. Yeah. The other day, one of my kids, he's in school. He's being trying to be punked by another guy. It was the worst. A guy comes up to him and he says, first of all, you're just a rich guy's kid. That's what you are. Your dad's got money, and that's where he says, wait a minute, who has a cell phone? You have an iPhone. My dad even hasn't bought me a cell phone. So maybe your dad is richer than my dad. And he says, no, everybody knows your dad is rich. And then he turns around and he says this. He says, look, it's not my fault my dad works harder than your dad. And the guy loses it, right? But you know what it is? Even I'm not saying, I'm just the only person that works hard. That part of what David wants to do, I love that those genes are being passed down 100%. To you. Good for you. Leverage the assets, leverage your dad's money, leverage the relationship, but then you're going to add your own little, spice to it. When Elon is having a hard time with certain relationship with X, when he's buying into it and he's going through all these issues and he's calling out Tim Cook every single day, and he goes to Larry Ellison's island to be with him for a couple of days. And Larry says, hey, pump the brakes with going after Tim Cook. He's on your side. You want X to be on Apple, on the platform. Don't go too hard with Apple. Look at them as a partner. Then he comes down, lowers the temperature. This is a very, very low-key, powerful player. Don't get me wrong. He's got some stuff that he's doing is also, wanting to make sure, watching every move and security. There's some things that freaks a lot of people out. But I think what I like about this, it happened quietly. Suddenly, boom, Paramount, boom, 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 boom. Number one. Control with one of the social media companies, TikTok, which is the youth. Paramount. Now, if they get Time Warner, SkyDance. At that age, think about it this way. Alex Soros, which a lot of people talk about. What does Alex control?
Well, the Soros fund.
So what does Soros control? What companies do they own? Actually, think about it. They bought 400 radio stations, right? Can you pull up
the
what
Open Society,
media?
Is what
Open Society is a charity, $7 billion. Okay. He's given $32 billion to. But what does What media companies does the Soros family own? Not Murdoch, Soros family own. So it's a very interesting game that we're playing right now. So Soros Audacity, yeah, which is Odyssey is the second largest radio company. This is the 400 radio stations, 230 radio stations. Go a little bit lower. Crooked Media, okay, so that's a different one. Pod Save America, great, respect that those guys are pretty big. Philanthropic funding. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it though, Ellisons are like, you want to play that game? Let's play that game.
Good.
Let's go buy up all these other media companies, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Competition is getting real here.
What did you call them? You said they're the new leader in media? They're the biggest media?
I don't
What
know,
did you
man.
phrase
I mean,
them?
every year in December, we put our top 50 biggest power players in media. Every year we do this. If you go to last year's list, we're getting close to putting that list together this year in December. Every year we put this list together, and this was 2024, it's 2025. Yeah, I don't know where the list is, but you can find it somewhere there, Rob, if you want to send that to Paul Williams as well. But every year we come up with a list. This year's list is going to be different. And we score it based on multiple different categories. One of the reasons Ellison ranks higher is because he's got a son to pass it to that won't be going away. So there is a generational duplication that is taking place there.
Do you remember who was number one last year?
I put Musk ahead of Trump last year.
Okay, so here's like individuals is what this was.
It's individuals. We do families and we do individuals. Families was different. Individuals is different. This becomes a power player. But anyways, we'll be looking at it. On Monday, I introduced you to the FLBs, the FLB1 shoes, Future Looks Bright shoes. And let me tell you what happened since that day. For black shoes that we had, I'll give you the report here. For black size, Rob, I think you have it as well. Size 8 and 11.5 sold out. If you place the order now, it's pre-order. It'll get here second week of December. For brown, 8, 12, and 13 sold out. Navy, size 13, sold out. Everything you order on those sizes will be pre-order. I shared with you the fact that a lot of the sizes are going to sell out. A lot of them, there's only 4 or 5 or 6 remaining for the shoe sizes. So, for some of you that didn't see what we talked about on Monday, for the last 25 years, I speak a lot on stage. And some of the events, whether it's my insurance company or the Vol Conference or BPW, at some events I can speak 40 hours where I'm on my just standing up talking and I'm wearing dress shoes and they're uncomfortable. I wanted to find a shoe that can combine both the comfort and the technology and the authentic Italian leather, the trainers, because I love those shoes. I didn't want it to be too heavy where I'm feeling like I'm carrying weight. We went to Italy. We put a shoe together called the FLBs. And I want to show you this clip one more time. And then I'm going to show you one other clip. And then we'll give you some intel and then we'll get right into the stories. Go ahead and Rob, play this clip, please. When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. So just so you know, if you're wondering, Pomp came in here, he saw the shoes, and he kind of goes like this. He's like,
I looked under the table.
He's auditing me. He's like, let me see if this guy's a product of the product. 24 days in a row I've been wearing this, just so you know that. 24 days in a row I've been wearing this. No matter where I go, last night I was at Casa D'Angelo, I was wearing this. The most comfortable trainer shoes with the Italian leather. And again, if you haven't placed the order for yourself or your spouse, this was us at the Vol Conference. Rob, if you want to play this clip, the launch of it when we did it here was so exciting. People were coming from all over the world. That was a 10-foot shoe that we put up. But guys coming back, how comfortable it is, how light it is, feeling the super foam at the bottom of it, taking pictures of it, sitting in boardrooms with your feet up where somebody says, wait a minute, does that say Future Looks Bright on the bottom of the shoe? Yes, let's make a deal happen, right? There's a certain sense of optimism when you're wearing these Future Looks Bright shoes. So again, the black and brown, if you order them, we have them now. if they're sold out, pre-order because you'll get it second week of December. The white, when it comes out, it will not last because, you know, there's a certain material that we mixed it with. The white is absolutely ridiculous. This will come out second week of December with the navy blue. The navy blue and the white will come second week of December. The black and the brown are here for you to order depending on your size. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order, and you can learn more about the comparison of how these shoes compare to a Tom Ford, Rob, if you can go a little bit lower, to a Gucci, to a Berluti, to a Ferragamo, to a Xenia. Make the comparison for yourself. Instead of spending $950, $1198, $95, $840, it's built in the same exact factories as Gucci, Louis Vuitton, same ones, $599. I just put them on this morning. It took me half a second to put them on, and driver came, picked me up, got in the car, came over here. So if you haven't placed the order yet for yourself or somebody else, place the order, go to vtmerch.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.